Hello everyone, this is Henry Kramer, 605 Chaser, coming to you live. Just going to give a few moments for everybody to join. And then we'll get to the forecast for your area of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, as well as jump into the big news, the crazy weather down in the Gulf. Lots to go over. So we'll just take a few moments for everybody to join here. Take a few moments and we'll be getting started here. All right, folks, let's go ahead and jump in. Thank you all for joining. And if you are watching this later on from previous broadcast of lives, so be it. But we're going to get to the 7-day forecast for areas of. Get that removed here real quick. 1 second. There we go. All right. So for areas of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, as you can see, mild temperatures, kind of cool, 70s for the next couple of days, and then we're going to try to push over to the low 80s by midweek. But the biggest news for areas of South Dakota or parts of South Dakota, eastern portion, is that the cool nights, we got 50s for lows, and look at that, Monday night. Tonight we do have some upper 40s. I suspect that you guys probably woke up, some areas of northern part of South Dakota probably woke up with some frost. We won't have a whole lot of that still happening over the course of the next 7 days, but it is that time of the season. So there's your forecast for the next 7 days. I do want to thank our wonderful sponsors, Mission Nutrition, Fit Revolution, and Refuel Nutrition, all located in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So just a bit of background on me. I was 252 pounds and struggled to lose weight and keep it off. With the help of their great coaches and amazing protein shakes like the shredded cookie dough, I have been able to maintain at my goal weight of 165 pounds for a number of years now. And if you need some energy, well, they got you covered there too. Amazing energy bombs full of vitamin B's like Sour Patch or Island Breeze. Stop by one of these great locations so you can be fueled up to take on your busy day. We also have Prairie Pro General Contractors. Is your roof in need of repair or just looking to improve the resale value of your home? Trust Prairie Pro General Contractors. With over 25 years of experience, they got you covered. Residential, commercial remodeling work, contact them today for a quote at prairieprosd.com. Let's get further into the weather. The big news that we have is the crazy hurricane. It's not here yet, but it certainly is on its way. As you can see, the satellite loop here, we do have the water vapor, upper level water vapor. And we're going to use some of our new tools here if we can. Right here is where you can see that development really happening. Lots of water vapor there. And there's things that are swirling out way in the Caribbean as well. So there's many different areas that we have to look at. And we will get to all of that very shortly. Let's take a look at the National Hurricane Map for the next 7 days. We do have a code red, as I mentioned to a post earlier this week. We do have a 80 or 90% chance in this area here of development right here. So, and then we also have a 70% chance further out into the Atlantic over the next 7 days here. What does this all mean? Well, let's get to the rest of the information. I want to give you an idea of what we're looking at as far as timing, some of the latest models, what they show there. Bear with me one moment. So the GEPS track is showing that this is going to possibly, I mean, look at all these different factors here, possibly hit the western portion of Florida. And as you can see right there, let me get my highlighter on. So this area here is the biggest concern for that eye to, once it does develop. It's not even it's not even showing tropical storm values yet as far as wind goes, because it's way down here yet. But it's going to, in my opinion, develop very quickly. Now this 981 millibars, that is possible that this could end up being less millibars, which would, I'm looking at some models suggesting that we could have 933 or 940 millibars, which would be a strong category 3. So heed the warning. Let's go ahead and take a look at GEFS. This one has it all over the place, so it shows that the eye could hit areas as far west of Florida as parts of Alabama, and then it does have hitting more of the central part of Florida. So there's much to work out here yet, but the main thing is it pretty inevitable that there's going to be something. Now this is a satellite imagery that we're looking at to show kind of the ecotops, if you will, temperatures. As you can see, lots of warm air out in the Gulf to work with, lots of moisture. Let's go back to another look here. Do want to bring up radar omega real quick here. Let's go ahead and kind of give you a different look at this. This is HWRF. This is a tropical weather model. So I'm going to bring this back up here a little bit. And as you can see, it develops. So that's as of 7 a.m. based on this weather model, 7 a.m. Central Time. And then once you see on the 24th, you can certainly see the eye starting to develop right here just in the next 24 hours. It gets more well-defined there on the 24th in the afternoon, and then it begins to really get defined right here. You can see that eye. But when is it going to hit landfall? Well, based on this weather model, do you see the outer bands hitting those coastal areas, having the tropical storm type winds as early as the 25th? Now when the eye might hit, This looks like possibly Thursday. But it will develop over the next, look at this, over the next 2 days, tropical development chances is high, 80%. 7 days is 90%. Let's take a look at the HMON model and see if we can see if there's any differences on that. This one was updated at 4 a.m., so this is going to be a little bit of a difference of that track. Kind of wobbles, but still, this one puts it more of the central part of Florida. But you can see that well-defined eye there. Bear with me one moment while I double-check the chats. Just gonna get this information put in here so that I can verify. This hurricane can get much stronger. It can get stronger like a Category 4 hurricane, but we are thinking that it can get stronger like Category 4 hurricane. How much would it be? Hang on one moment here. Just translating some of the Spanish here. Well, let me get to give you an idea. Here we have Tropical Storm John in the area of Oaxaca, Mexico, to the northern area of Chiapas, Mexico. It may also be a hurricane, but we are thinking that we still rule out a Category 2 as well. Okay, well, that's definitely good information to know. All right, I appreciate you all chatting away. So let's go ahead and take a peek at some of the, what the category levels for, what constitutes Category 1, Category 2, 3, 4, all that. So 945 to 964 millibars could have storm surge of 9 to 12 feet. And to go back to this reference, let me put that on here. So if we're looking at category, let's just say 970 millibars, somewhere in there, that would end up being a Category 2, 6 to 8 feet. However, I do believe that this is going to be a strong 3. We're definitely starting to see more of the La Nina pattern, and so that ends up bringing the heightened risk for areas of the Gulf and the Caribbean to start seeing that hurricane season really ramp up quite a bit. If we get to see these millibars getting to a 920 to a 944 millibars, that would be catastrophic hurricane. We'd be looking at 13 to 18 feet storm surge. This is based off of Socorro.org. It's a hurricane glossary. And I'm going to go to the Saffir-Simpson hurricane scale. Off of the weather.gov. So let me go ahead and give you that. So Category 3. If we were to have a Category 3, the winds likely between 111 and 129 miles per hour. Devastating damage will occur. Well-built framed homes may incur major damage or removal of roof, decking, and gable ends. Unnamed hurricanes of 1909, 1910, 1929, 1933, 1945, and 1949 were all Category 3 storms when they struck South Florida, as were King of 1950, Betsy of 1965, and Jean of 2004, as well as Irma. Who can forget Irma, 2017. Now, there are some interesting ones from a Category 4 perspective. Last time Hurricane 4 hit that area, this was 1960, Donna, Hurricane Donna. That was made landfall in South Florida as a Category 4. And of course, Hurricane Andrew of 1992 was a Category 5. I don't believe we're going to get a Category 5. I really hope we don't. So that is some of the track that we're expecting. Let me go ahead and bring up some other factors here. Shut this off here. And then that way you can see this development here. We put a loop on this here. You can certainly see the development right here. Right there, lots of development happening right there. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek back at Radar Omega one more time. I do want to talk about the weather that we have expected today as well. So we do have severe weather expected, marginal risk over in Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas, even Indiana. Marginal risk right here. I don't expect to see anything real huge, but let's go ahead and take a look at the HRRR weather model. Go back to our 7 a.m. update here and get the full view. Most of that development is going to be pretty well suppressed until the late evening hours. As you can see, after 4 p.m., hitting southern Illinois, southern Indiana, making its way over to Louisville possibly. I don't see any risks as far as tornadic activity. Even though SPC has the low risk here over in areas of Missouri, southeastern part of Missouri, and extreme northeast part of Arkansas, I don't really suspect that that's going to amount to much. Let's go ahead and take a look for our folks over there and see what we have going on. Yeah, these marginal risk showers, light showers, heavy at times there in Missouri is what put a hamper on, or a damper if you will, on that development from maturing later today. So I don't suspect that we're going to have any tornadic activity over in these areas today. The primary risk will of course be conditional wind threat and a conditional hail threat, low to say the least. Main thing is going to be lots and lots of rain, lots of moisture to work with there. All right, let's go back to the tropics here. We want to talk about another area of concern. This has got a 70% chance of tropical development. This is over the next 7 days, which is a high chance, overall high chance. And these are this is a possibility that this could develop. I don't think this is going to end up staying out in the Caribbean. I do think that this is going to be our next wave maker and pushing into the U.S. as well. Many days out. Of course, this is probably going to impact areas over the next 10 days. That is a long ways away yet, but areas of Puerto Rico could end up seeing some risks there in the Virgin Islands. And then the other area of concern, although low, is the tropical development chances southern part of Mexico there. And then we do have Tropical Storm John. That is certainly having some risks right there. Let's go ahead and bring that up. Do not have a radar that I can pull that up here, so let me go ahead and bring this one in here. Definitely some areas there getting plenty of moisture over there. Bay of Campeche. Alright, let's go ahead and shut this off here. We're going to have a short broadcast here today, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek again at the risks for today. Above me, you can see marginal risk map for severe weather. Just had to get a few things ready here. And let's put this into play again for Invest 97. Gonna hit impact Cancun, Havana. It'll push right up in the Atlantic, Georgia area. You're gonna end up seeing some moisture there for sure. If this track continues on its path there. HWRF. Again, these are the Cayman Islands. That is the latest information that we have there. Look at that eye, that wall, eye wall right there. So if I zoom in here, these areas like Tallahassee, Panama City, Gainesville, pretty much the whole entire west coast of Florida will be impacted by the tropical storm. I expect to have tropical storm warnings or watches for sure issued along this whole entire coastline here within the next 24 to 48 hours, and then areas that are likely to have hurricane watch over the next 24 to 48 hours would be these areas here. That would be the area of concern. Because this eye wall is going to be pretty well defined. So that's the latest information that we have from the National Hurricane Center, as well as SPC. One last quick look here. At those developments, just to make sure that this was the latest information. Yep, this was updated at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. So about a half an hour ago, or I'm sorry, an hour ago. Let's see here. If there's any other questions. The front looks to be stalled. Can you check? Let's see. Don't believe that that front is stalled. Let's check here. Let me try one other tidbit here. It does appear to be stalled just a little bit. We don't have any recon going on. See if there's any information. Oh, it's Tropical Storm John. And let's go to invest. All right, so this is model guidance. Let me just shut off my subscribe. Move that over. All right, so we do have Invest 97L model intensity guidance. So over the next 48 hours, oh my goodness, they're showing this suggests Cat 3 over the next 48 hours. So while it may end up stalling out is only going to allow it to continue to just stir up and intensify and gain strength. So 48 hours, even though it may end up being stalled out just a little bit. Let me put the fronts on here. Surface analysis, let me put that on. Alright, so we do have this cool front right here. That could end up stalling things out quite a bit as that pushes further south. But I don't think it's going to hamper things from really maturing because we do have that 80% and 90% chance. So great questions, everybody. Appreciate it. Yeah, for the last 3 days that had hurricane cross land Florida going to the Carolinas. Now it's almost going straight once it makes landfall, which kind of lets me know that the front is not as strong. That's interesting. Appreciate that information. Certainly entitled to an opinion. I don't know. Viral videos. Thank you very much for the comments. It certainly has something for me to gnaw on and get some more information. I certainly do trust our friends at the National Weather Service as well as National Hurricane Center for giving us the risk levels. While at the same token, they do have to look at the latest models. So. Take a look at one of our other options here. One moment. Going to see if there's any aircraft recon. was yesterday. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at some additional information here to make sure that we have the latest. Don't see anything that would suggest that this is going to, I don't know if that's what you're kind of alluding to there, Mr. Mr. or Mrs. Viral Videos. Yeah, no problem about the typos. But I definitely believe that this is going to continue to intensify. Latest models don't suggest that it's going to die out by any means. Let's take a look at a few things here, though. Let's look at the factors of the air temperature. We got dew points in the upper 70s. These buoys, that one's out. Let me see what this one's at. Oh, that's a beautiful sunrise there. 84 degree air temperature, 76 degree dew point. And we definitely have plenty of warm air to... Ooh, dew point cooler. Well, Viral Videos, there could be some stalling out because that front does look like it's got some cooler air on it. And so this could end up having it stall out a little bit, which ended up being a huge risk, because if this does develop and mature into a hurricane, which likely could, then the possibility is that this front here could have this stall out. Let me get my drawer here. This could stall out over here and have catastrophic flooding, because we're going to have that warm, moist air pushing up here, and we'll have this front. Obviously, this front will be gone by the time this really develops, but we could end up having additional front push over there. Let me take a look at one other factor that I like to use here. From the Weather Prediction Center, so bear with me one moment. Alright, so this is the Weather Prediction Center, day 3, Wednesday. And areas like Georgia, Alabama, heavy rain, flash flooding possible. So that front here likely will cause this to stall out over areas of Florida. And this heavy rain, flash flooding possible is due to some of the remnants of the said to be hurricane. So that's the latest information that we have here. I appreciate y'all joining, and appreciate the... I'm sorry I wasn't able to convert all of the information on here for the chat. I'm not fluent in Spanish, so I apologize. Hopefully I answered your questions. Sometimes you definitely got me there, Viral Videos. I appreciate that. So going to be interesting to see where they put the center at once they fly into it. Then we'll be confident in the forecast tracks as we see for barrel. Yes, absolutely. The recon has not come through, so hopefully that ends up being figured out very soon. All right, folks, I'm going to let you all go. I got to get to work. You guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining. And Fit Revolution, Mission Nutrition, and Refuel are all open today. You can see their hours below. So make sure that you check them out today. Get your nutritional shakes. And you have a great rest of your day. God bless. Stay safe, everybody.